What's good, Daniel? What's good, Yosa? Megan? I don't know how to spell that. Megan? What's good, guys? It's been a minute since I've been on live. Been doing a lot of stuff. I'm working on a YouTube video right now, too. I gotta show you guys. I just got a camera. Look at this. This thing is fucking nice, dude. The videos are gonna be so clean. Just look how HD that thing is. Oh my god. I'm so hyped. I already recorded a video a couple days ago. Or actually yesterday. It's gonna be basically the alien videos. You just got a camera for YouTube too. Hey, that's fire. Matrix crystals. Yeah, it's gonna be Trippy Boy. Yeah, that's me. Yeah, good luck with you too. I know it's fun recording, but the ideas, just let the ideas come to you naturally. You know, don't try to force anything. Just let it flow. And there's literally so many things I want to talk about, and I will talk about, from aliens to consciousness, God, dimensions, life after death, bro. Like everything. Literally, any knowledge on the universe, on the self, on reality. All about that. Giants, yeah, I have some videos on giants too. Have I unlocked my crown chakra? I would say yeah, a little bit. I mean, I meditate every day, or I try to meditate every day. I would say my third eye is probably one of the things that's most awakened, because, you know, when I feel like it's just a tapping into a higher knowledge and asking higher truths when you awaken your third eye. You know, you begin asking the bigger questions about life, about you, about the universe itself. Is that clear quartz? Nah, it's citrine. I got citrine and an ankh. I got so many crystals. Hold on, citrine and ankh, and this, I think this one's called auralite and black tourmaline. You have such a vast mind. Thank you, bro. Do I ever get scared and existential thinking about everything you know about the world? Sometimes, yeah. I guess there was this one time I was in the shower. It's like, sometimes it just hits you like, none of this shit is really real. Like, the world as we perceive it is really nothing but an illusion in our mind. Like, everything is energy and frequencies, but our mind interprets it in a certain way. Like, we can only see a certain spectrum of reality. Like, the sounds we hear, let's say if there was a cat and a lizard right next to me, they would see the world and hear the world in a completely different way than I. And there's just like so many more things out there that we can't perceive because our limited perception through our auditory senses, our eyes, everything. And it's like, there's so much more to reality than how we perceive it to be. So I sometimes do get a fucking like just shocking thing that everything's just fucking, none of this is actually what's really there. Just fucking energy, and my eyes perceive it to be something concrete. Hey, Holiness, my guy, I fucking love your videos, Divine Mind. Appreciate you for showing love, bro. What's a fact I know about the Philippines? I don't know much about the Philippines. A lot of people say I'm Filipino. That's about all I can say about it. Are YouTube people aliens? What does that mean? Where are the lizards? The lizards have been here for a while. Probably in the government, to be honest. But I think they're like all races, not all alien races are gonna be bad. Like, just like with people have different agendas. Aliens have different agendas. Some people it's all really about either service to self, I mean, or selfless to other. That means basically either you want to work for other people, work for the wholeness of and betterness of humanity, other races, rather than just the betterness and contributions to your own race. So let's say the Draco reptilians, they are more service to themselves. They want to better their own race. They don't care about the repercussions that they cause to other races, whether it be humanity and all that. But even with them, there's like, I feel like there would be quote unquote good and bad aliens, even on their side. Yeah, betterness. Is there a God? Yeah, I believe there's a God. I mean, everything in the universe, when you think about it, it's fine-tuned for life. This is the theory of biocentrism. It's basically how even the laws of physics themselves, there's no way that everything in the universe is just pure random chance and evolution. Like I was making a video on this a couple hours ago. One of the examples is like the strong nuclear force that literally holds the nucleus of the atom together. If it was 2% less, it wouldn't literally not hold the nucleus together, and the only element that would be here on in the universe would be hydrogen, meaning that nothing else in the universe could be able to exist. And so many other things about like there's no way all this is just pure chance and randomness. I feel like there's some sort of conscious force behind it, which manifests itself to be everything. Is it possible for a human to not feel like human? If you meditate, you can feel an expanded state of consciousness where you are no longer identify yourself to be your physical body and your mind. I would say that if you can do that, then yeah. Thoughts on Agartha? I definitely think Agartha exists. I mean, I think it's plausible, actually very plausible. Because anything that's, in ancient cultures around the world that's talked about and we think to be myths or stories, but they appear in different cultures that are otherwise unrelated, like Agartha, like stuff like that, like the beings that come from the stars. And Agartha is one that appears in the Hopi Indian tribes in India, like with the ancient Sanskrit texts. That's really the name for it, Agartha. And Hopi Indians, I'm sure there's another name. But it's like too many different coincidences about talking about the same place in cultures that are otherwise unrelated. So I would say that Agartha, it's very possible for it to be real. Hold on. Have I seen The Inside Job? I've seen a little bit of it. May the Force be with you. May the Force be with you too. I fucking love Star Wars. I feel like, that show, what's his face? The guy that made it? George Lucas, he took a lot of inspiration from different religions across the world. Like the concept of the Force, he says is basically like a trying to dumb down the concept of God into like some sort of force like that. I know that sounds kind of weird, but it's fire. Gartha is Hollow Earth? Yeah, Gartha is Hollow Earth. What am I studying in college? I'm studying right now wildlife ecology and conservation, but I might switch to anthropology or quantum physics or something like that. I feel like anthropology and other things like that because I love studying, all the ancient cultures, ancient civilizations, and not just from the point of, what school would want to teach you about. Like, I want to go from it from a controversial standpoint. Like, I want my papers to be some shit about aliens, not just about what we normally think about to be the old paradigm of history and human civilizations and evolution and the evolution of the human race in general. Like, I want to just expand my mind and see the different perspectives about it. Do I know Dolores Cannon? Yeah, of course. I love Dolores Cannon. Her work is amazing. All the stuff she talks about really resonates. Like, when you hear that woman speak about everything, it's like, you know she's telling the truth because, like, I mean, you don't know, but, like, you feel it. Like, it resonates with your own inner truth that you feel inside of you. That's what I feel sometimes with, like, that's really how I can, pick the perspectives I like from religion, from science, from everything. It's just, if it resonates with my own inner truth and what I feel is right, that's what I tend to, go towards. That's why I think it's best to look at as many perspectives as you can in life, whether it be from religion, science, aliens, anything. Because the more information you have and different perspectives on the same subject or truth, you'll have a more deeper understanding of that same truth, rather than just seeing it from one simple-minded perspective. No matter how fucking crazy it is, if it's like aliens or anything like that. You don't believe religion has helped humanity? Well, yeah, that is true too. I mean, not all religion, but like some religions, like obviously Christianity, and I mean, no hate towards anyone. Obviously, no hate to any religion. I respect you, whatever you believe in. I don't care what you believe in. It's really up to you. But there's a lot of stuff like in Christianity, which is, more for control and fear mongering, because obviously hell doesn't exist, but people in the Bible says it so people can join. And pretty much in ancient times, it was like a lot of the church gained money from people going to church and actually being baptized. Like when you got baptized, it was supposedly your way into heaven, and you literally had to pay to be baptized before. And a lot of things, like a lot of ancient texts that used to be in the Bible and the Old Testament, all that got taken out. So there's so many other things that people are not aware of in most of the religions they're in, and they don't see it because they're in that control kind of brainwashed mindset of fear or of all that. And I think it's really all about love. That's all it comes down to. Love, interconnectedness, oneness. It doesn't matter what religion you're in. If that's in one of them, then that's what it is. Love my account. Thank you, Brosy. Keep wildlife ecology. I might keep it. I'm still thinking about it. I'm trying to go back to see all the comments. How long have we been at a spiritual warfare? I feel like, I don't know. It's probably been a minute, but I would say like that's still in the concept of duality. Anything that's the concept of good and evil, of high and low, of dark and light, that's still the concept of duality, and it's still, in that separateness rather than oneness. It's not, I feel like ultimately it all comes down to the same thing. The universe and reality itself transcends a spiritual war. Everything is the same energy being manifested in different ways. And light and dark, positive and negative, they're just different expressions of the same thing. So it doesn't matter if there's a war or anything else. It's just, you perceive it to be this and that, but it's really all the same. I don't know if that makes sense. My content is amazing. Thank you. Special edition. Much love. Fuck. How do I get this off? What kind of water do you drink? I drink normally just filtered water, mostly, like without fluoride. You still have to pay to be baptized? No, I don't think you still have to pay. I think that's over now, but you used to be Catholic, but you went back to spirituality? Yeah. I feel like spirituality is just anything. I mean, it doesn't really matter what you identify yourself to be. It's really just not limiting yourself to that belief or perspective. Like, let's say I could be a Christian, I could be a Muslim, I could be anything, but I'm not going to limit myself to that belief only. I'm going to look into other religions just because I can learn from them. There's a different perspective I can gather that can, I guess, open my understanding of life, of God, of the universe. It's really all about perspectives and opening your mind to all the possibilities of what could be in reality and everything, Yin yang, yeah, exactly. Yin yang, like that's what I was trying to say. It's like positive and negative are just two sides of the same coin. When I was trying to say about the spiritual war thing. Like in the Kabbalion, it says, what is it? It says, light, positive and negative, light and dark are different expressions. Oh no, I'm forgetting. I'm not even going to say it because I forget. I got to read that book again. What I think about God's final wish concept, I don't know what that means. Psychedelic, I like psychedelics. I've only done once. But I feel like they're a good way, like a tool for consciousness to just open your mind and grasp. It's just, yeah, literally a tool for consciousness. They expand your consciousness just like meditation. Anything that allows you to see beyond what you normally perceive in everyday reality, everyday consciousness, could be a good thing if used correctly. Psychedelics, meditation, anything that just expands your mind, expands your awareness, your understanding of yourself, of the universe, of everything around you and within you can be a good thing. As above, so below. Yeah, exactly. Please and thanks. If you have any thoughts, hold on, let me read your question. do I ever just question whether I'm thinking correctly or overthinking to an extreme extent? Well, yeah, sometimes like I'm always gonna go back and rearrange my thoughts on the things I thought were real, because the more you learn, the more you realize the less you know. It's like, or the more you know, the more you realize the less you know, or that you don't know shit, because there's just so much in the universe and life that there's to find out and understand. So I guess I don't know if that's what you were asking. Hey, Metaphysical, I'm glad you're in here. What topic do you find mind-blowing the most? Consciousness and dimensions and God, but also aliens. But I think consciousness is literally the most abstract and most metaphysical and crazy thing that there is, because it's the thing that everyone knows exists. Because like you right now, ask yourself, it's the one thing that you know that you are conscious, that you are experiencing right now, that you are alive and breathing, and that you're conscious, you know that you're experiencing. But it's the one thing we can't explain. We don't know what consciousness is. We don't know what it looks like. We don't know where it comes from. We don't know how it manifests into different forms. We don't know how the fuck, if matter that's supposedly unconscious gives rise to consciousness, and these, like your body, supposedly in science, your body, your cells, everything around inside of you is supposedly unconscious, which I think is obviously fake, because, or not real, because your whole body, if you just think about it, everything in your body is self-regulating and organizing itself. Like your cells are moving all together all at once, like completely organizing your body, your organs, your heart just beats itself. Like everything is just conscious. This whole thing is just consciousness. And the fact that we don't tell itself, we don't tell, oh, heart, beat yourself. We don't tell veins, pump the blood. We don't tell cells, regenerate. Like every one of those little cells has some form of consciousness. And what that consciousness is, we have no fucking idea. That's the thing that I always think about. And I feel like that could be what connects everything: spirituality, science, religion. Because I often think, like, in Hindu concepts, there's this idea or this story that the universe and reality itself is sort of a dream, or God's dream. So if you think about it, like, that's basically pointing to a metaphorical story that's pointing to the idea that we're all just one consciousness, one mind, which is God's mind or whatever, a higher intelligence mind, and we're all living within that mind, within that consciousness. And everything that you are, every cell, every atom, you, a tree, everything is just a different manifestation or different form that consciousness takes. So like if we're metaphorically in God's mind, everything is a different thought form of that mind. And then literally everything is a different form that same singular consciousness takes. Like there's no my consciousness and yours, there's nothing that divides it except our own perception and experience of it. Like we can't say your awareness is here and my awareness is here. It's everywhere. That's what, like, I feel like when you awaken, that's when you begin to notice, like, you are everything, because the consciousness that is in here and here everywhere is the same consciousness everywhere else. Holy shit, I missed a lot of questions. Describe life in 3 words. I feel like I am describes life. Like exactly, it's the I am. Consciousness is the thing that exists before and everything else comes into being. It will always be consciousness. It's like anything that's infinite will always be there, regardless of all the things that happen. It's probably not explaining it well, but like the I am is basically that awareness, that presence that's always there, that consciousness, a live conscious presence that exists and pervades the entire universe and manifests itself to be all these different forms. It's probably confusing. It's like metaphysical concepts. It is what it is. Fuck it. Hey, Cassie is my guy. I'm glad you're in here. When did I start believing this stuff? It's just when I opened my mind to different perspectives on life. I just started reading different things. I started meditating, and once you reading is one thing, but to actually get this stuff to grasp And for you to understand it, you have to meditate on it. That's what I started to do. I started to read some pretty crazy stuff I couldn't understand. Then all of a sudden I started meditating, and suddenly just my mind just could rearrange all those thought forms, all those patterns, all those different topics, and my mind just grasped it. It's like, I don't really know how to explain it because it's like so weird. It's like a higher form. It's like when you enter just a higher form of consciousness when you're in that meditative state, and your mind, your higher self, or whatever it is, rearranges all the thoughts, and even sometimes comes out with things that you never knew you had within you, like knowledge that you didn't know existed and you knew about. Some things about like just so many different realizations. After meditation, sometimes I just begin writing stuff down. Like, I don't know where it comes from. I don't know how I knew about it, but it correlates with the things other people talk about, and it's just coming from within when I get into that deep meditative state. I don't know. It's like, shit's weird, but it's awesome at the same time. You got like, it's like you connecting to the universal web when you meditate. It's like if we're all one consciousness, and you right now are just a computer, but you are that same one consciousness. But when you meditate, you're not on airplane mode anymore. You're on the Wi-Fi, and you can search up any fucking thing you want. It's like, it's basically like that. That's how I would describe it. When you get into deep meditative states where stuff just comes up, I feel like that's what's happening. Have I ever entered the spirit world? No. I used to astral project when I was very, very little. Not like little, like 4 or 5 years old. Like stories I used to tell my mom. But ever since then, I haven't consciously done it. But I know that every one of us, the spirit world or the astral realm, we all enter it when we sleep or when our body or astral form recharges. Like, let's say, just like when you take your clothes off to put them in the wash, when you go to sleep, your astral form leaves your body so your astral form or your physical body can wash up. And it's like, that's why people have sleep paralysis sometimes when they just out of all of a sudden at night, because it's their astral form, which is basically like just another vehicle of your consciousness. It's like a little spirit body just leaves your body, and when it tries to come back in, it's sometimes stuck, and that's why you can't move, because it's not fully in your body and you have sleep paralysis. But all that, it's like, there's just so much stuff, man. It's like, it's crazy. You hook up to the cloud, yeah. Do I see orbs? Yeah, I see orbs sometimes, or I see little blue things of light just randomly sometimes in my room, or just randomly, just fucking randomly. I don't know, it's weird to explain. But I feel like the thing I see the most or experience the most is definitely synchronicities. Do I write down my dreams and study them? Yeah, of course. I write down my dreams. I write down my meditation sometimes. How do you meditate? I feel like meditation is going to be unique for everyone. I mean, the way that you want to meditate and the way I meditate may be completely different. I do some form of energy meditation sometimes, or just focus meditation, but it's really just shutting up and letting yourself be aware that you're aware, you know, like you sit down and you breathe and you're aware of your breath, you're aware of your surroundings, you're aware of how you feel. Holy shit, voice crack. You're aware of how you feel internally and outside of you. You try to feel your energies within you. It's like you just sit down and observe your thoughts and just watch them pass by. Observe your body, observe everything. It's just sitting down and just completely silent or with music and just observing and trying to see what comes up. So I would suggest you just sit down, close your eyes, and focus on your breath for a little bit. Breathe in and out deeply. Or do a guided meditation. If you've never meditated, try that. What's the purpose of this life, in my opinion? That's like a hard question to answer. I feel like life itself is its own purpose when you think about it, but just the fact that, you know, life itself, just the fact that we exist, the fact that there is life, that's the purpose of it all. The purpose of life isn't a flower, as in the purpose of life isn't you. It's like everything is the purpose and the meaning of life, because life itself is the purpose of life, to live, to experience, to love, to give and receive love. It's like But there's so many different ways to also understand it. I think it's also to create and evolve, like X said. Every one of us is always constantly changing. Like the only thing in the universe that remains constant is change itself, which is unconstant, which is a paradox. I feel like the craziest things in life are always the paradoxes, and that's one of them. That the only thing in life that remains constant is change. So everything in the universe will always change, transform, and evolve into something else. So maybe the purpose is just that, transform, evolve, create. I feel like it comes down to just being and living, though. Like you right now, you're accomplishing the purpose of life by being yourself right now, living, experiencing, being aware, breathing, like all of that is just the purpose. But I feel like everyone has their own individual purpose too, like the things that they come to Earth to do. And I think ultimately you don't find that purpose, you create it yourself as well. Like no one can tell you what your purpose is because you create it on your own. People don't just go out there and find their purpose. They create it by doing the things they do. You heard you have soul contracts? Yeah, a lot of people say that too. I believe that too, honestly. I think there's soul contracts. I think that there's an afterlife. And I think life is basically an evolution of the soul. Like our soul or our consciousness, we evolve into higher and higher planes of being, into higher and higher forms of consciousness. So let's say right now your soul, your consciousness is in this body, in this form of consciousness that's like, let's say this is what the law of one teaches. It's like life is just an evolution of consciousness, and everyone is just at different stages in their evolution of consciousness. So right now we're on this 3D, third dimensional consciousness level where we are self-aware in our bodies. Before that, you could have been a plant, which is a 2-dimensional state of consciousness, or you could have been a rock or an element sort of substance, which is a 1-dimensional state of consciousness. And it's just like an evolution of that consciousness and of the soul. And it goes through all these different forms, experiencing life in different ways, in different forms, but it's all the same essence, the same consciousness experiencing it. So maybe it's just, the purpose is just God or the consciousness to experience itself in as many different ways as possible and to experience life in as many ways as it can. Through you, through me, through a rock, through a cloud, through the sky, through water, through planets, through stars, like everything. And just different forms and lives experiencing itself. I don't know if that makes sense. Have I heard voices when not like someone talking? No, I don't hear voices, or I've never heard voices personally, but I know a lot of people do. I get a lot of ear ringing sometimes. What's my greatest joy? Oh, damn, that's a hard question. I would say nature. Nature is definitely my greatest. The thing that gives me the most joy is nature, and just observing the beauty of the natural world, the beauty of trees, and just seeing how everything's just like, it's just so fucking perfect. Like there's no way to put it into words. Like all the entire universe is implied in one tree, in one grain of sand, in everything. It's like, and that just gives me joy, just seeing how it's so, like there's no way to explain why it's there and for what it is, but it's just so beautiful. I don't know. That's called monkey brain. How's it feel having third eye open? It's not really anything crazily different. I feel like you're just in a higher state of awareness and consciousness. You're just in a higher state of understanding yourself and the world. You maybe ask yourself deeper questions. You start wondering rather than just being in a programmed state of work, eat, live, die, repeat. Like you're not just that anymore. You start wondering about why you do the things you do, who you are, who you can be, who you can become. Like start wondering a bunch of things. What synchronicities do I experience? I experience a lot of shit. Like, I gotta stop cursing. But I experience numbers a lot. One of the craziest synchronicities is, this is a very personal one, but I don't know if you guys will even believe me, but when I go into the forest or do stuff like that, I sometimes like ask the forest things to give me. Like I ask for a sign. This actually only happened once. It's happened twice. One time I didn't ask for it. The other time I did ask for it. But I was just in the forest, just alone, just being myself. And I just started talking to like the trees around me. I started just completely talking. Like if there was other entities around me, I started talking to Mother Nature. And then I remember at one point I asked her, like, if you're really here, if you're really listening to me before I get home, send me a sign, show me something that when I see it, I'll know that you've been listening to me and that you're here and you're alive and, you know, you've been listening to me. I'm not just talking to myself when I'm talking to the forest. And so when I went home, or when I started walking home, I passed by this creek I usually meditate at, and there's this rock I usually meditate on. The same rock I'm in, like I meditate on all the time that I meditate on in the forest. And when I passed by the rock, I saw something there. I think I have it here. This is what I saw. I was like, dude, this, like, when I saw this, I was like, my whole reality just fucking collapsed. Because it was like incredible. Like in the rock I meditate on, to find this just there, just sitting. It's like, you guys tell me what you think this is. To me, I think this is some sort of Buddha or some sort of meditating thing. It was completely broken, so I had to piece it together. It was cut in half. And this is just what I found. It looks like a meditating just figure. Like you can see the belly, the hand, the knees, and some weird symbols. And also, this was also when there was a big flood around my house because I live right next to a river. So basically, just a couple of days ago, like the whole forest was flooded with things. So if this could have came from the bottom of literally the river. And when I asked the forest for that, it was, yeah, no head. That's the weird thing about it. I was like, that's a little bit weird. It has no head. It has a necklace, but I thought that shit was cool. Like, not just cool, like amazing how you can just invoke something out of just talking and like your intention behind it. I feel like everything just speaks to us, like the forest, trees, birds, and we're not tuned in enough to actually listen to it. But when you talk to it and really acknowledge it, it talks back. It gives you things like this. So it's always good to just appreciate nature, talk to it, all that stuff, you know? Head is in another plane. I'm sure it is. I'm sure. I you know what I thought? I thought this was like some sort of elemental spirit of the forest that just presented itself to me in this. And that's what I was talking to when I was talking to the forest, like an elemental spirit. Or just the spirit of the forest itself. I don't know. Who knows? Who the fuck knows? Ever play Ouija board? No, I haven't. I don't think I will, honestly. I don't want to fuck with that energy. I don't think it'll do anything good, to be honest. At least not for me. Any more show and tell? Yeah, I have one more. This is the first one I found. I keep them right here on my desk because literally like some of the most meaningful things that happened to me ever. So this one I was just meditating, or not just meditating. I walked my dog to the park and I went because I wanted to go meditate at the park. And I remember the first thing I saw when I got there, I saw a frog. So I just it's little synchronicities, little meaningful things that just happened through that trip or through the park. And then first I saw a frog and then I just started walking my dog. And then I remember, okay, so this backstory first. The backstory first is I took the leash off my dog at a certain tree at a certain part. And I looked on the ground and there was nothing there because I took the leash off my dog just so he could walk around. And then I put it back on and I went to another tree. But just keep that in mind that I took a leash and I looked at the ground and there was nothing there, at least that I saw. And then I went to another tree to meditate. I just sat there with my dog. I meditated. And when it was over and I stopped meditating, I went back just the way I walked back home. And I walked past that tree that I stood with my dog and looked at the ground. And I just saw something there. It's normally the tree I like go and hug and talk to, which is a weird thing to say, but like when you know, it's like, because I know there's some presence there, even if I don't see it or hear it. And when I looked on the ground and I saw this, which it says love, but that's not the crazy thing about it. The crazy thing about it is what it says on the back. You guys, every time I show someone this, they can't really read what it says, but I'll show you. Let me see if you guys can definitely probably not read what it says. But like when I saw this, that shit got me like, it's still like crazy to me. Like there's no way, I found this for a reason. Like someone put that there for a reason, and I was just so aligned with it that it got me and it came to me. It says sent, FREOM, from, sent, from, HEAVEN, sent from heaven. And I just thought that was crazy. So it's just synchronicities like that, which is like completely change your perspective on life. But even though I don't like, it's like a mystery. Who put that there? Why did I find it in that specific time? And it says love, which is cool. I don't know. It's just so awesome. Even though I don't necessarily believe in like the Christian heaven, I believe in the astral plane and like heaven on earth and everything. Yeah, heaven is in everything. We bring heaven on earth and all that stuff. But I believe like quote unquote heaven isn't just the astral plane where you normally, after you die, well, there's different planes in the astral. So let's say this one's in a lot of movies, like in the Soul movie, which in the Soul movie where the spirits are just roaming and they're like kind of sad and they're just looking down, like walking around like completely in a negative vibration. That's that lower astral. And that's mostly just spirits or souls or astral forms that after they die in a very negative experience. So they're just there roaming around in the earth, following people that have had and died in that same experience. So like, let's say addicts or things like that, they're going to be following people because they don't know that they died. They don't notice it. This was also in a movie. What's it called? The movie with the kid that saw spirits that talked to him. Oh, damn, I gotta remember. Because this is literally the perfect analogy. But the basic gist of it is that not everyone is going to be... I'm probably skipping so many. Yeah, Sixth Sense. Yeah, that one. Good shit, guys. Good shit, Joey. Good shit, Patty. Good shit, everyone. Good shit, V. Good shit, Joey. Everyone. You guys got it. See? But it's basically that, like, that's the lower astral. The kid was seeing astral forms, spirits that were in the lower astral that died in a very negative way, and they roamed because they did not know they were dead. So they followed people thinking they were still alive until like, and obviously none of us will experience that because I'm sure none of us are in that negative vibration. But normally when we die, we go to the middle astral, which is basically where, people say that after you die, you go through the light, which is basically just going through the light of God to cleanse your soul, to cleanse your consciousness. And then you roam in this place or where you're normally greeted by a spirit guide or a guardian angel. And they take you to this realm, which is, the middle astral. And that's normally where you see your ancestors, your family. And it's like, in the astral realm, everything, it's like, just like you can manifest things here, through reading and writing, in the astral you can manifest things like that instantly. So it's very beautiful. There's like houses and stuff like that people just manifest with their thoughts, and that's where you, I guess, reunite with your soul family and with all that stuff in the middle astral. And then after that you go to the higher astral to go over your past life experiences and the life you lived. So it's like, that's where you think about all the soul contract stuff, all the reincarnation. It prepares you for the next life that you're going to live. And that's the higher astral. It's like after the middle that you basically, like, you get a time to reunite with your family, all that stuff. And then you're taken to the higher astral to go over all this contracts and stuff you have to do for your next life and the stuff you experience in your past life, which is cool. That's all this information. If you want to learn about it, it's from Dolores Cannon. It's just stuck in my mind because it really resonated. And she basically did past life regression through hypnosis. So she hypnotized people and made them go in a trance state where she literally made the people go back and remember their past lives. So it's like an in-between lives. So this is from the experience of people. This is not just people just blathering out about it. Well, it is, but it's from their supposed experience of the in-between lives, or the stuff, life after death stuff. Do you think in the higher astral you get a choice to stay a while, or do you return immediately? I'm not sure. I'm sure it would be like, it's like, I'm sure it depends on your karma, the lessons you learn. If you learned your lessons, you're not going to obviously reincarnate again in the form that you did. You're not going to go back to Earth. You may incarnate in another higher dimensional plane, higher dimensional density. So let's say you may incarnate as an angel, or you may incarnate as a spirit guide, or you may incarnate as something that's the higher form than you were in before, because you learned the lessons of that density, which is the density of being a human. So when you learn all that, you learn the experience of humanness, you die. When you learn all about it, then you incarnate in your next life as something that's beyond this human form. Or if you didn't learn it, you can't come back and reincarnate. Which is what most people are stuck in, the cycle of reincarnation in this form, in this humanness. Or like an animal. That's why I think everyone is. Do I believe in God? Yeah, I've talked about that a lot. This is an exciting time to be alive. Indeed it is. But I don't believe in the personified God. I don't believe in like a man or a woman or a white guy with a sitting in the sky. I believe it's beyond that. I don't think it's anything that we can really grasp with words. I think the closest things that comes to it is consciousness. But I believe everything is God. Everything is a manifestation of that same energy, that same consciousness. And we're basically like, just think of it in the analogy that we're in the mind of God, or we're in the body of God, and everyone is just a different part of the creator, and we are the creator, all of us. Just a different consciousness, a different extension of the creator, the source's consciousness. We were made in the image of God. Yeah, the stuff about we're made in the image of God refers to because you have patterns in your body everywhere around you that are the same patterns as everything in the universe. I talked about this in a video before. Everything in the universe is made of patterns, geometries, ratios that are self-similar and repetitive everywhere. If you think about it right now, your thumbprint is the same as, what's it called? The thing of a tree, When you cut a tree in half, the stump of a tree is the same pattern. Your brain cells are the same pattern as the cosmic web of the universe. Your eyes are the same as nebulas out in space. It's the meaning you were made in the image of God means that you were made in the image of the universe, because God is the universe and everything in it. That's why it says you were made in the image of God, because everything is God. Like your tree is right here, the Fibonacci, the little spiral, the brain cells that look like the universe. That's also, it's like there's so many different patterns and fractals. Wrong? I mean, that's my perspective, but you can believe whatever you want to believe. I'm not telling you this is no dogma, this is no religion. You can have your own perspective, man. I don't really care. It's just a matter of opening your mind to all the possibilities of what you can experience and learn about life. Yeah, microcosm, macrocosm. Exactly. It's like that's the ancient saying, as above, so below. Like what's below is a mirror image of what is above, or the smaller processes are mirror images of the larger processes. Your brain cells are mirror images of the cosmic web of the universe. Your eyes are mirror images of the nebulas in space. Your lungs are mirror images of a tree, if you think about it. I literally have a video on this. Hold on. Lung bronchial tree. I'm gonna show you guys. That's a tree right there. That's your lungs. And also your lungs, they're the same process as trees. It's literally an upside down tree, as above, so below. Your lungs, they take in oxygen and release CO2. Trees do the opposite. They take in CO2 and release oxygen. So they're just mirror images of each other. Like everything in the fucking universe. It's all connected, man. Shit's crazy when you really grasp it for what it is. It's not God, though. It's just nature. It's whatever you want to call it. Doesn't matter what you identify it to be. Labels are just labels. They're not the meaning behind it, you know? God, you can call it pizza, and it may still have the same meaning. Like, words are just labels, or words are just carriers or vehicles for meaning. But everything, I would believe that nature is God too. Everything is God. I am God, you are God, we are all God. But again, that's my perspective. You can believe what you want to believe. If you look into the Tree of Life Kabbalah, you can see how it applies to both. Yeah, and it's crazy. And the Tree of Life Kabbalah also is something that connects to the Flower of Life, which is just a whole nother concept. I have videos on too, but shit's crazy. You totally understand that, but God is the creator of all creation. Yes, when you think about it, yes, but when you think about it as well, how are you God? I'm going to explain it like this. When you think about it, we say everything in the universe was created. We say it was created from something outside that somehow, you know, it's like a magic wand just said, poof, abracadabra, the fucking universe, go, like that. We say it was created. We don't say it was like, it's like, and it's not really that, because we know energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred from one form to another. So it's not creation, it's transformation. You were transferred from God energy to you energy. It's like everything was the source, and it started from itself, fractalizing different energies, creating universes, creating people, creating things. But it didn't just poof it out of existence. It's out of itself came the universe. And the universe is itself. That's what I try to, it's like, it's not a creation, it's a transformation of its own energy. If that makes sense. It's like, it's an emanation from that same source or field of awareness. Hey, Timmy, I'm glad you're in here, bro. It's fucking been a minute since I see you, my guy. Do I think books create their own reality? I don't think books create our own reality. I think people create their own reality. Everyone has, I mean, it's pretty basic. Like, your own decisions, how you create your life based off your decisions. Like, there's nothing that, everything that's there in your life, you put it there. It's not like it didn't go here from like somewhere else. Life is not coming at you, it's coming from you. All your decisions create the reality that you live. Whatever you want to experience, any dream that you have, all it takes is just putting your thought forms towards that intention and starting doing the actions to manifest it into your life. It's like my videos right here. I just started thinking I want to grow on TikTok. I'm going to post videos. I started visualizing it, aligning myself into that reality, which is also a thing that we know from quantum physics itself, that reality exists in an undetermined state of probability or waves until a conscious observer interacts with it. Like, basically reality is what's it called? It's called quantum fields or waves of probability, and matter or particles are just basically like the quantum field like forming into a particle, and that only happens when you observe it. We know that from quantum physics. Like, a wave can be a particle or a wave, and it all depends on the conscious observer. Like, this probably makes no sense. I'm just not going to talk about it, because quantum physics is one of the most fucking crazy things you can grasp your mind about. Hey, my guy, I miss you too, bro. We got to talk about all this shit. It's been a minute. What's a good book I recommend? Bro, so many. There's so many books out there that can teach you anything about life. It's like literally look at my shelf. Look at my shelf. Let me see. The first book I read was The Power of Now. That was one of the books that opened me up to just experiencing the present moment for what it is. Like, the idea that time itself is an illusion. Like, we don't experience the future or past except in our own mind, in our own, when we, you know, recall the past or just present experiences or anticipate for future experiences. And it's like, but it's all happening. Every experience you have will be in the present moment. Every experience is present experience. You will always be right here, right now. At every point in your life, you will always be in the present moment. And that's what the book teaches you to connect to the present moment presence that surrounds everything, and that which is what you are as well. And it's like, it's like, that's one of the things that fucks up so many people in their head. because they worry about the past. They anticipate situations that are not even there about the future, which don't even exist because it's just their mind. The mind is the only thing that travels to the past or the future, but we will always be right here, right now. It's called The Power of Now. It's a beautiful book. I have a post talking about this on my Instagram if you want to check it out. I explained it, writing about it, but The Power of Now, I definitely recommend everyone reads that book. Have I looked into Silva method? No, I haven't. What is that? Is that like a manifestation method? Do dogs see ghost or future self reminiscing? No clue. I'm sure I was a dog in my past life, but I don't remember. What is my career dream? What I want to do for income later in life? Just write books, make videos, anything that helps open people's mind, spread awareness, spread knowledge, spread wisdom, spread love. I love writing. That's like one of the things I love the most. I like making videos too and talking to you guys on live, like the stuff that I can just talk about forever. That's what interests me. So I would say I can see myself doing that, writing books, making movies, not movies, but videos, but mostly books and stuff like that. I recently recorded an alien video yesterday, but I want to talk more about metaphysical concepts like I'm talking about right now. I feel like that's the stuff that's awesome. Do I believe in reincarnation? Yeah, I believe in reincarnation for sure. I mean, it's literally in one of the laws of physics. Energy can't be created or destroyed, only transferred from one form to another. Your consciousness, your energy can't be created or destroyed. It's only transferred from this body into another body. Or even your body. Like your body itself is energy. It will never die. The atoms within your body will simply be recycled into other parts of the universe till the end of time. You will always be physically everything in the universe, and you'll always be in the universe. Spiritually, in your consciousness speaking, soul speaking, will always be in the universe. You should save this live and post it on YouTube or something. Yeah, probably will. I definitely will. I'm gonna affirm it right now. I'll post it. Let's talk about aliens. If you have questions about aliens, just ask them and I'll talk, but just give me talking points or questions you have and I'll talk about aliens. Literally just any question, man. And I got you from my perspective. Is it something, a manifestation method, but more about turning on intuition, psychic abilities? That's interesting. The manifestation method I most do is just visualization. Just visualizing the reality I want to attract and just picturing it with music in my ears. Like I listen to music and then I feel it in my heart as I picture it in my mind. And it's like the emotion with the visualization and the intent, magic. That's literally magic. And your reality comes so quick. Because after you meditate and visualize it and feel it, like you picture yourself with that car or with whatever you want, and you feel like you see yourself getting so excited about it, and you feel it literally in the present moment. You feel yourself like, damn, I really got that shit. But you're just visualizing it and feeling it. And then after that meditation, just let it go and just completely let it go and trust that it will come in divine timing. And that's normally what I do. I have a YouTube. Yeah, I do have a YouTube. I only have 2 videos, but I'm going to post more soon because I just got another camera. It's Indigo Bruno. Just go to my bio. It's in my bio. Or the little Instagram icon in my bio. If you click that, there's a YouTube section too. Like specific incarnation, yeah, I talked about this. I do believe we reincarnate into plants, animals, into angels, into spirit guides. It's just an evolution of the soul, an evolution of the consciousness that you are, and evolving into different forms through which that consciousness can experience. Whether it be a plant, whether it be an animal, whether it be an angel, whether it be whatever it can be. Just different forms that soul, that consciousness takes to experience life in different ways. And it's just all just an evolution of that. What started me on this path? Meditation and the power of now. Literally the first things. My mom gave me the power of now. I put it down for 3 years because I
I didn't like reading. I read it again just randomly after I started meditating, and that just kicked me all off like a year or so ago. So it hasn't even been that long. So I would say, yeah, like a year and a half, which is pretty long, but not like years of being into this stuff. What's the best way to manifest? The one I said about visualization. What do I think about time travel? I mean, because time is an illusion, you can travel through time with your consciousness.
Buenas noches, Bru.
Buenas noches.
La paz, bien, que descanses.
Estoy en live.
Ah, estás en live.
Sí, no importa. Buenas noches.
Vale, yo también. Fíjate que te veo bien. Hay que hacer calor.
Sí, ¿cierras? How was my mom affected by reading the book? She loved it. It's probably one of her favorite books. That's why she gave it to me. So yeah, time travel is possible. There's a thing called remote viewing, which is basically expanding or moving your awareness or consciousness to any specific point in time and space, literally anywhere. And you can see into the past, into the future, into any point in space and time. It's called remote viewing, or ESP. The CIA used it to spy on the Soviets and to look into the past and the future. It's basically just moving your consciousness, because your consciousness, it's limitless. It's not limited to your physical body. You can move it to any point in time and space. And that's time travel. And you are a time traveler. You're just not aware of it because most people are not tapped into those abilities. ¿De dónde soy? I'm from Mexico. I have a Mexican... Is my Mexican flag over there? No, it's not. It's over there. There she is. I mean, my body right now is from Mexico, but I would say what I am is from, I don't know. So isn't your soul consciousness reincarnating, but the one soul consciousness? Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's the same, I feel like it's the same one soul consciousness reincarnating. It's like, it's all the same being, the same consciousness incarnating into different forms. Like there's really no individual soul reincarnating. We just probably perceive it to be that way, but it's all the same soul, maybe a greater soul. Maybe there is like an individual soul, and then there's a greater soul or spirit, which is that one consciousness or one soul. And it's the same within everyone, but it's like, I'm not sure. That's what I've been trying to say. If we do have individual souls, or if it's all one thing, which I tend to think it's all just one thing, one soul, one spirit, one consciousness. But you're from Puerto Rico? Hey, that's fire. I haven't been to Mexico in a minute. I astral project. I used to astral project when I was little. You're in my room? It's awesome. Give me a high five. Hey, felt that. How do I remote view? You just look it up. There's this guy called Russell Targ or Russell Tarag, I forget. He has a lot of exercises to try to help you remote view. Holy shit, this thing is moving up and down. Okay. We gain energy from reincarnating to evolve more advanced level spiritual world. Yeah. I do think we gain through experience, we gain through lessons, and that allows us to be able to incarnate into another form which is more advanced. I can't see you, no. If you are in here in your astral form, I can't see you. Have I read Jordan Peterson? No, I haven't. I've read, what's his face? Eckhart Tolle, I've read. Thoughts on NoFap. I would say it's a good thing. Depends on how you want to use it. Like, if you do it, you have to channel that energy. Like, you can't just NoFap and just not do shit. You have to, because it's like, that's your creative energy. So if you store or sustain your creative energy, what are you supposed to do? Create, make videos, write stuff like that. Use that energy, channel that energy towards something else that you would have just wasted it on just doing what you do. And it just gives you a lot more creative energy because you create life with that. So logically, that energy is creative energy to create other stuff. what's my opinion on Dolores Cannon work? I talked a little bit about it. I love her stuff. She's one of my favorite spiritual teachers, along with Ram Dass and Alan Watts and Eckhart Tolle. You guys might think this is crazy, but after I do a painting, I see it in the clouds. Maybe I say, oh, that's awesome. Maybe it's just imprinted in your mind. Do I believe in like dark entities or demons or just non-3-dimensional beings around us? Yeah, I believe in non-3D beings around us, of course. I believe we know that from science and from neurology and neuroscience in general, that our minds, our perception of the world, we see things through the electromagnetic spectrum of light, and our humans only see around 0.0035% of the electromagnetic spectrum. So that means there could be other spirits, other light beings all around you. You just don't see them because you can only see a very, very tiny portion of what's actually around you. That's why you don't see the actual energetic waves of atoms and physical things. This is not actually this. At another level of reality that we don't see because our eyes don't perceive the energetic form of this, it's just energy vibrating. And it's because we don't perceive that. So in the same way, if there's spirits around you, you just don't perceive it because you're not tapped into those other frequencies of reality, other energies. Which clairsense is my strongest? I feel like claircognizance. I just know stuff sometimes. Or clairaudience too, because I get a lot of earringing, but I feel like those two are definitely it. Love my videos. Thank you, Jello 2K. We couldn't choose our vessel. What do you mean we don't choose our body? Am I a teen? No, I'm not a teen anymore. I'm 20 now. It's kind of funny. I kind of forgot. If we create our own reality about children born paraplegic, how does it work? I'm not sure. What do you mean? If children are born a certain way, I feel like it all comes down to lessons and experiences. People say that the life you are living, you chose it. The form you are in, you chose it so you could experience it and learn lessons from that. If you have any sort of thing, if you're paraplegic or whatever, if you have diabetes or anything, it's you incarnated in that form so you could learn the lessons and experience of being a paraplegic, of being a diabetic, of being a white person, a black person, a Mexican, of being tall, short, anything like that. We all experienced it, and we all chose to experience it to have all the different experiences of those different forms. So your soul, your consciousness could have as many lessons and experiences of life. Or it's not really your soul, it's the God soul, the God consciousness. So it could have as many experiences and learn from as many different forms as it can. And it all just comes back to that same source energy, just experiencing itself through different ways. And an infinite amount of possibilities. Any form that you can do. As a human, infinite variations of humanness. As a plant, so many variations of plantness. Literally everything is just a different form. Turn on. Your shit's coming down. Do I have clairsentience? Nah, I wouldn't say that one's very strong with me. At least not yet. You feel things, right? That's clairsentience. No, I'm not some people are very empathic. They walk into a room and they're an energetic sponge. They fucking absorb all the energy of everyone, and it's hard because that's what they are, an energetic sponge, because they're clairsentient. They're very tuned in to the energies of feeling that other people have. Do I use NoFap? Yeah, I do. That's why I have a lot of creative energy channeling of just creating stuff. See?
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Ay, qué cool, preciosito.
Te quiero.
Ay, a ti también. Con esas barbas estás haciendo tu video.
No tengo muchas.
No, con esos pelos.
Ah, sí.
¿Sí? No, bueno, no sabes lo que me pasó ayer.
Estoy en live. Estoy en video.
¿Es en serio?
Sí.
¿Ahorita estás?
¿Quieres saludar o no?
¿Es en serio?
Sí. This is my mom, guys.
Hi.
Ok, ¿ya te vas?
Buenas noches, lindo.
Buenas noches. Te quiero. Love my mom. She's awesome. Dicen hola, mamá. Yeah, it's beautiful. I fucking love my mom. It's just like everything is just it really just brings you closer to love, and just like every experience is, I feel like, is a way that bring you closer to love, to forgiveness, to that, through your parents, through everyone, plants, animals. Yeah, you can feel the love. Do I believe in starseeds? Yeah, I do. I think I'm a starseed. I mean, it's just another label, but I think it's cool to think of myself to be a starseed. I did a starseed reading, and I was supposedly, what's it called? Andromedan, Arcturian, and some other races. I know the Andromedans like sacred geometry a lot, which could explain why I love sacred geometry. What is a starseed? It's basically like, starseed is basically like an alien soul, which is just an alien, or extraterrestrials are more highly evolved, consciousness speaking. So let's say an alien soul comes and reincarnates or incarnates in a human body, so they can teach people stuff about the universe, about life, about themselves, because they have a deep knowledge within their own soul. That's basically what the starseed does and what they are here for, if you believe in starseeds. So like, just a higher dimensional soul, or a higher dimensional being, an essence of a higher dimensional being. Mr. Mod, man. Come on, man. Wouldn't every human or being be able to be a starseed, though? Because they're all pieces of consciousness? Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's like, it's a weird thing, because all of these different labels just put you closer towards that separation of that, like we're separate souls, rather than just the one soul or one consciousness experiencing itself through different forms, which is just weird. That's why it's like, that's what I'm still trying to find out, because there's all these different spiritual concepts about us having individual souls, and yet there's also these concepts about us all just being one consciousness. And it's like, which one is the one? Or is it all just a different level of perception and experience? I mean, ultimately, yeah, all is one. So I guess it's both. Yeah, it could be both. It could be, they say that they're different levels. Maybe they're different manifestations of the one thing. So it's like the one consciousness, and it's like the one consciousness manifests as this one individual soul, as this other individual soul, as this other individual soul, and all that stuff, you know? Read the Quran? Yeah, I definitely will. Like I said, I like looking into all the different religions. So I definitely will. There'll be a time when I'll look into the Quran. I took out some quotes from there, which talked about love and all that stuff, because I want to make a video again about religion and love. Because I think ultimately all religions, that's what they come down to. Love and oneness. And the Quran has stuff about that. The Quran has a verse saying that Allah basically... I hope I'm saying this right. If I'm not, just correct me. But it's like Allah, there's a verse that says, we will know when we die why we were perceived or made separate. Like, and that's where I think we were made separate, or perceive ourselves to be separate, in order for us to realize the oneness. In the Quran, it says like, you will know why you were made separate and why you perceive separateness, and why like the world is the way it is after you die. And I think it all comes down to what I'm saying. It's all an experience of oneness through duality, or through different perspectives, in order for you to realize that it's all one thing, just being experienced in different ways, in different perceptions and points of view. So like, that's in the Quran. And the Bible, you could say, Jesus talks about the kingdom of heaven within. In other books, about the Gospel of Thomas, for example, which is not in the Bible because it was taken out. It wasn't even included because basically the Jesus represented in the Gospel of Thomas is completely different than the one in the Bible. He talks about oneness. He talks about the kingdom of heaven is everywhere, that God is everywhere, but people just don't see it. Like, people just don't recognize it. Like, you can't say it's here or there because it is everywhere. And it's like, that's literally the thing I talk about. That's the thing that's in Hinduism, that's in everywhere. In Hinduism, they also talk about that the universe is a manifestation of the divine energy, or of the divine, which they call Brahman. Everything is Brahman. And they also say, like I said before, we're living in God's dream. So that would be a metaphor to think that we're all the one consciousness, or different thought forms of that consciousness in that God's dream thing. So it's like so many different perspectives. That's what I'm talking about. Like, all this stuff, like, imagine you just limiting yourself to one book and not learning about all this stuff. Like, no. I mean, you can. I'm not telling you to not do that, but I would suggest to open your mind to different perspectives. Because there's a lot more stuff you can experience and learn from other religions, from life, from different perspectives. That's literally all it comes down to. I keep saying that. I'm wise for a young man. Thank you. I think I'm a young man, but I'm an old soul. So that's probably why. I've died twice and was told to go back to my body both times. Bonnie, I guess you're not learning the things you're supposed to be learning. Make amends with your family. Anything that you're just holding back, any regret, anything that's keeping you away from forgiving the people that have wronged you or did anything bad to you, just forgive them. I feel like it all comes down to that, just learning forgiveness and love for the people that you may think have wronged you or did all that stuff. Like loving your parents, loving anyone that's in your life. So you don't have to reincarnate back in the souls of your parents because you didn't learn the lessons with them. So just forgive them for anything that they may have caused, or just love everyone. Just love everyone. Debating dropping out. Did I finish high school? Yeah, I did. I'm in college right now. Do you remember this from a reading? Yeah, I remember this from reading and from just researching stuff, trying to make videos and stuff that comes to me sometimes. I'm such a forgiving person though. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I don't know, there could be something, like a lesson you have to learn. I'm not sure. Like, just think about, I feel like when it will click, it will click. You know, like, if you've been living life in this body for a long time, there may be something that you still have to learn. Or maybe it's just you're deciding to come back here to spread love or spread knowledge or whatever. Like, you decide. You're not just doing it because you're stuck in reincarnation. Like, maybe you're just deciding that on your own. Who knows? Definitely more knowledge than most 20-year-olds. Thank you, yeah. Yeah, that's what sometimes why it's hard to connect with other people, because everyone's just like stuck in that. I mean, it's their perspective on life and all that stuff, but they don't, I mean, no one can see the world how you see it, but, you know, it's just like talking about shit that I don't care about anymore, like parties, like getting fucked up every day, like I don't care about it anymore. I don't care about just all that stuff. I want to know what you think about life after death. I want to know what you think about God. I don't want to know what sandwich you had yesterday. Like, that's just basic, like, no. Like, there's just so many more things we can learn from each other in different perspectives. I don't know. I mean, even though it's nice to talk about that stuff, it's like, you get to a certain point where I don't know. I just don't feel the need to talk about all that stuff, even though it's nice. I mean, it's just connecting with people, but it is what it is. There's no coming back. Energy just goes back into the universe. I mean, that's from physically speaking, if you think about it. Because obviously energy will always come back into the universe. Your atoms will always recycle into other parts of the universe. That's why they say energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred from one form to another. Because, you know, the only thing in the universe that's constant is change. Your atoms, they might not be in your body anymore, but they won't just die. They won't just fucking perish into existence, out of existence. They will transform into other parts of the universe, whether that be the dirt or something else, like your physical atoms. That's even like scientifically speaking, that's also very profound. Like, your physical body will forever be not your physical body, but the atoms that make up your physical body will forever be recycled until the end of time into other parts of the universe forever, which is crazy to think about too. I'm charging my computer. Give me a second. Wasted EA gets old, lol. Yeah. I mean, it's still sometimes fun to have those experiences, you know, like, it's all about experiences, like, even just getting fucked up every once in a while with friends to just enjoy their time with them, like, you shouldn't limit yourself to everything, just be so, like, rigid and just stuck, like, oh, it's just this and that. So I guess it is true to have fun with every experience, as long as you don't harm anyone. You think we have some time to hang out with God or our true selves after death? You can hang out with God, your true self, right now. You don't have to wait after death, because that's what you are. If you just sit down and quiet your mind talk, all that stuff, you can just be, you can become, there's a quote that says, there's this quote from this guy that I really like. It's like, once I penetrate into the depths of my own I am, I reach the name of the Almighty, which is the I am. Like, once you penetrate into the depths of your own consciousness, your own awareness, you will reach the awareness that is that same I am, that same God awareness consciousness. And you can experience that right now. When you meditate, when you have some sort of psychedelic experience, it's just transcending your normal state of consciousness into something higher or something deeper or more expansive. You know? I'm tired of bringing down my entire being just to fit in. You don't have to. Just be yourself. You don't have to bring yourself down for others to conform to you, or to not even conform to you, for you to fit in. Once you be your authentic self, you will start attracting more people just because you're being your authentic self. And even if you don't, it's like, maybe that's what the life that you chose or whatever, you know? Not even that. It's like, just be yourself. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks. I mean, that's the only person you can be. When you think about it, just be yourself. Yeah, in John 1:7, yeah, he says, ye are gods, doesn't he? My man Jesus, my man Buddha, all of them are just awesome. Doesn't matter what you believe in. May I ask, are you channeling this info? I don't think so. I could be. I'm just talking out of my voice. Maybe it is coming from somewhere. Who knows? It's crazy how all you explain is the same thing. Yeah, it all comes down to the same thing. If that's what you're saying. That it's all one thing. That's literally all it comes down to. There is no separation, only in your mind and your perception and experience. Yeah, exactly. People need to focus on here now, not hereafter. I mean, there's only one point in your life that you will ever be. The only one place in your life that you will ever be is the present moment. You will never be anywhere other than here, in that present experience. So the only time we think about the past or the future is when we go back in our memories or anticipate experiences that haven't even come to be. So it's pretty stupid when you think about it. All people mostly live in their mind rather than in reality. They don't live in the present moment experience. They live in their mind. Thinking about, constantly worrying about, oh, this and that I will get soon, or this person did this to me in the past, or like all this stuff. Never being right here, right now. Just breathing, being aware of the things around you, looking at trees, looking at the clouds. Like, it's just being observant. I feel like that gets you in the present moment. Every time I suggest for every one of you here, just try to be more in the present by simply, anytime you step out of your car, anytime, just look up at the clouds, observe the beauty of the world that's around you. Be there, right there, instead of thinking about the stuff in your mind. Just be observant. Like, look at the beauty of the trees, the wind, just the leaves just moving. It's like everything is just fucking crazy and beautiful. And we don't pay attention to it because we're always in our mind, rather than in the present moment. Whenever I speak, I just say, this is the universe. That's a great way of saying it. So divine. I feel like that's a beautiful way of saying it for sure. I mean, this is the universe speaking. These are the eyes of the universe. This is the consciousness of the universe. This is the heart of the universe. This is the voice of the universe. Like that, just like nature. I remember Joseph Campbell said exactly that. Like, these are the eyes of the earth. This is the voice of the earth. And this is the consciousness of the earth. We're all just different extensions of the same thing. Through the earth, through the universe, through everything. It's your goal to become a messiah. I wouldn't suggest it. They normally get killed, so I don't suggest it. Just become a teacher spreading love. You don't need to become a messiah or a prophet. Just be yourself. Spread all the knowledge you can in the time that you're here. You don't have to be anyone or anything. Just be who you already came here to be, which is you. I don't think there's prophets as well. I just think there's teachers with advanced knowledge. I don't think there's messiahs or saviors of humanity. But you can believe that if you want. If you believe in Jesus, I don't really care. Do I get annoyed? And if so, why? Yeah, I sometimes get annoyed. Like, there's still the ego. There's still sometimes that I get annoyed if something doesn't work. But at the end of the day, it's all just an experience and lesson to try to be more present. But I do get annoyed. I do sometimes get pissed. I'm not just this perfect human being or this perfect thing. Everyone has their things that, they're things. Do I think we get to experience bodiliness after death or just immediately reincarnate? You experience your astral form. It's like this body is just a vehicle for your soul or your consciousness. And when your body dies, your consciousness moves into this thing called the astral body, which is basically this, but like in an energy form, or just think about it in a ghost. And your consciousness moves from this physical body to that energy body. And you move in the spirit realm in that astral form. So you're still experiencing bodiliness, but it's through an energetic body rather than a physical body. I mean, this is energy as well. Like, don't get me wrong, everything is energy. Atoms are just energy as well. They're just energy vibrating in different frequencies. Nothing is really physical. We just say it's physical, but everything is energy. I mean, that's like literally science. It's not some deep metaphysical concept. Everything really is energy. Scientifically speaking, atoms are energy. They're not just little balls of physical matter. Physical matter is fucking energy, which is a thing that everyone should try to understand as well. Thank you, Lazarus. I hope I'm saying your name right. It's an awesome name. What's the best way to open your third eye? Meditate. I will continue to say that. Meditate. Read something that's pretty profound and then meditate on it. Or just start meditating and then read. Right? We are gods and goddesses. Yeah. That's what I always say. I mean, we're all different manifestations of the same energy or the same consciousness. Have I fully heard the astral projection tapes you shared? No, I haven't. I've been very focused on other stuff. So I haven't gotten the time to just go down and listen to all of them. Have you? Ale? Let me know if I've listened to like 3 or 4. Adam, perhaps, maybe. Also, a vegetarian diet. Yeah, vegetarian diet. Okay, let me. I literally have a. What am I saying? I literally have a video on my YouTube that tells you how to open your third eye. If you have questions, literally look at that video. It tells you sun gazing. If there's a sun, look at it, but just in the way I tell you in the video, that completely opens your third eye or decalcifies your pineal gland, which is basically the physical gland for the third eye. And meditation decalcifies it or opens the third eye. Not drinking fluoride which most people drink in their tap water. Don't drink that. Get a filter. Don't buy water bottles. That shit destroys the environment. Get a filter. That filters fluoride. Or water pitcher. I literally have all the information in my YouTube video about how to open your third eye, because I thought that would be like one of the most important things for everyone to look at, and that's why it was my first video. When I asked God how to fly, he said that I already am, though, through different objects and vessels. Oh, that's so awesome. I mean, we are, yeah. Like, how do you fly? You're flying right there. Look at that bird. That's you flying. I've gone up to the 5th tape. So much was experienced. Amazing and crazy. Hey, that's fire. I definitely will listen to the tapes again. This probably has been going on for a while. I might end the live soon. What is my opinion on therapists and therapy? If it helps you, go to it. But I feel like the best therapy is psychedelics, because they're your own. You're going into the mind and like taking out all the wounds and all the stuff that is harming you from the inside. You're not like taking pills to like dumb it down. You're literally going to the source of the problem and seeing it for what it is. When you take them with an intention to heal, they can really help you. Like people who have depression and all that stuff, a lot of them go through psychedelic experiences to cure it. Not really cure it, but just go to the root of why it's there. Because there's there's nothing wrong with you if you're depressed or anything like that. You're just thoughts just getting to you because of a certain experience you may have had. And the way to combat that is psychs. In your opinion, are crystals good to use? Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be wearing 50,000 of them if I didn't like them. I feel like they're good. I mean, everything carries a certain energy and vibration, and crystals are very high in energy and vibration. So they elevate your energetic frequency, and they can. I mean, certain crystals are for certain things. Like this one is for manifesting. It's called citrine. This one's just an ankh, which is an Egyptian ankh. Basically, the torus represents the torus pattern, or the toroidal field that's around your body and around galaxies and around planets and around everything. It's just representing the toroidal field. And let me see. This one's a black tourmaline, which is for negative energy. It basically harnesses it, and instead of it just coming to me. Have I used forms of magic? Yeah, I would say manifestation is definitely a form of magic. You could say that that's one. But actual magic, I don't think so. I don't know. I sometimes move the candle like with my like I heat up my hands like this, and I feel an energy in my hands, and I move the candle. I don't know if it's just the wind moving it or the room, but it sometimes feel like I'm actually directing it where I want to move it, you know? Or like Reiki. Reiki is like a good thing too, which I haven't done. But I mean, I used to do it to my dog a lot. I'm not sure if I was doing it right, but I think I did, because he was healing for the time that I did it. Do I believe in God? Yeah, I say this a lot. I do, but I don't believe in a personified he, she, God. I don't believe it's a man in the sky. I believe everything and everyone is God, and it's a singular consciousness that manifests itself to be everything in existence, and we are all extensions of that consciousness, just manifested into different ways. So I don't believe God is some man. I believe it's like a primal force or divine energy, and we're all that. Is that the secret doctrine? Yeah. I haven't read it. Where is it? I read like a couple pages. I read the Theosophy. What's it called? I read the Theosophy. Shit. of Helena Blavatsky, like the key to Theosophy, that's what it's called. I read that one. Secret History of the World too. Yeah, fire reads for sure. So many. I one of my favorites is the Kabbalion. If anyone in here has not read the Kabbalion, I suggest you guys read it. Shit's awesome. You're genuinely a gift, man. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad that my truth resonates with your truth. That's really all it comes down to. if my truth resonates with what you believe, that's awesome. If it doesn't, just fling it away till you find your own. You know, I'm not trying to tell you what to believe. I'm trying to tell you what I believe so you can find your own inner truth as well. Like you might have other perspectives after what I tell you that you may go and research and find your own truths that resonate more with what you believe. And I think it's all a matter of that, just finding your own. But also, like, if something resonates, go ahead, take it, believe it. Helena P. Blavatsky. Can I spell that? The Kybalion? Yeah, I'll show you it. It's basically laws of the universe. Have I read the Gene Keys? No, I haven't. I'm going to screenshot that. That sounds good. This is the Kybalion. It's basically, just laws of the universe. About the law that all is mind, which is what I talk about. Everything is the singular consciousness. About the law of polarity. Like different modes. It's like everything that we perceive to be duality is really just secretly unity. Like light and dark, positive and negative are just different expressions of the same thing. Or they're the same in nature but varying in degree. That's what the Kybalion says. Like think of it as hot and cold. Like temperature is the same in nature but varying in degree. Hot and cold. Light and dark, same in nature, varying in degree of light and darkness. Let's see. Everything, really anything of duality fits into that spectrum of unity, which we experience as duality. Hold on, let me read all the comments. Kybalion, yeah, I'm not sure if I said it right, but it's Kybalion, and it's the Hermetic philosophy, and it's by the 3 initiates, which are supposedly some people. It doesn't really say who they are. It's kind of mysterious, and also supposedly from the teachings of Hermes Trismegistus, which appeared in Greece, but supposedly in older cultures was Thoth from Egypt. So it's interesting. It's pretty interesting shit. Or stuff. Gotta stop cursing. Yeah, so many things in here. It's just a great book, honestly. Oh, fuck. Let me see. Oh, yeah, this book I love. I love this book. This one's cool too. This one's cool too. It's called Be Here Now by Ram Dass. It's like, I'll show you. It's stuff like this. It's like spiritual concepts about duality, it's very beautiful. It's like so many different things. This one's awesome. If all is one, why can't we eat animals? Won't they just go back to oneness? Genuine question. I feel like it's just an energetic frequency level thing. I mean, you can eat animals. It doesn't matter if you can or don't eat animals. But like, oh, that's weird. If you're eating an animal, you're eating yourself in a different form. Oh, I didn't think about that. But let me see. Why won't they just go back to oneness? I mean, I'm not sure like how that would be. I feel like it's just, to me, why I don't eat animals is because I just feel a lot of compassion towards them. I don't want to kill a very highly emotional sheep or cow because I know they have emotions. They can become very energetically and emotionally attached to humans. Like, they're like dogs. Pigs are like dogs. Cows can be like dogs. We just see them as stuff that we eat all the time. But they're just another being that with emotions, with a form of intelligence, but we kill it just because we want to consume it. And I think it's not a bad thing, but like the bad thing is that we overconsume. We take more than we actually need. Like, a lot of us just completely just eat so much shit that we don't need. Like, we kill so many cows just because we can. And I mean, I don't know, it's kind of a sad topic, so I wouldn't want to talk about it too much. But I would say I'm vegan. I've been vegan for a while. I haven't had anything bad happen to me. You got anemia? What's anemia? I was always wondering what that was. I haven't gotten anemia. At least I'm not gonna get anemia. I will be fine. Affirming it. But yeah, I'm vegan. And I've been fine. My energy levels are good. It's just I think all comes down to compassion. Like, I don't want to kill another being just so I can eat something, which I don't really think is even that good. What's the book called? Which book? I'll suggest first get The Power of Now, but if you want book lists, just DM me on Instagram and I'll send you some. Do I believe college and school is a waste of time? No, not really. I mean, you can create your life however you want it. You don't really need school, but it can be like I said, everything is a lesson. Everything is just lessons through experiences. School, all that. You can learn something from anything. Everything is a lesson. Everyone is a teacher, and just life is just an experience of evolutionary understanding and learning. So you can learn something from school. You can learn something from all that stuff. Just study what you want to study, not what your parents want you to study. Study what you love just because you love to do it, just because you're into it, not because you can make money, because you like doing it. Just don't do it. I think ultimately, I mean, if you're struggling financially and you think you may be in debt, then there's a lot of other options that you can have. But ultimately, you can learn something from everything. You don't have to not go to school because people say it's a bad thing. You can learn something from school. You can learn something from anything. You can even learn outside of school. You can read books on your own. But the thing is, society doesn't really recognize if you don't have some sort of degree, which is stupid. But you can still make your own life and create it how you want. You can make a business. You don't need a license or a degree to make a business or make videos or anything like that. Like, you can make money off other stuff. You can make a life out of other stuff. You don't need to go to school. But it's not a bad thing as well. So I wouldn't bash on school, and I wouldn't say it's a thing that you should that's your only option. That's my point. It's not your only option, but it's also not bad. Made a fortune from crypto and now retired and bored. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's like exactly that. Like, you learn in school and maybe you'll have experiences that you would have never had if you didn't go to school. Like, you wouldn't have met all those people. You would have not had that job that you maybe loved or maybe did not. Like, I don't know. Yeah, sometimes it can drain your energy. Like, when it's too much, I feel like it all depends on. But you can't just quit without having a plan. Like, first, whenever you want to create a reality that's different from what people normally do, like school, like society-based 9-to-5 matrix type things, you have to know where you want to go, what you want to create. Like, before you hop in the car and get a car and hop on the road to go somewhere, you have to know where you want to go. You can't just start your reality not knowing where you want to take it. You have that intention of who you want to be, who you want to become, what life you want to create, and then start doing the actions that actually manifest that reality for you. If it's not school, it may be something else, but like think about anything that you want to become and manifest it and take actions towards it, and you can be that. Like, anything is really possible if you think about it. It all comes down to decisions, your intention, and the energy behind it. How do I manifest me being a pro gamer? That's the only hobby I have. I love doing. I'm really good at it. Visualize, like I said, visualize yourself doing that. Keep doing it. If it's really what you love and if you can see yourself doing it, keep doing it. Work hard. Don't just give up. It's like the law of attraction has action in there. You don't just not do shit and get what you want. You do stuff and you attract it energetically. So let's say you can write it like in the present moment that you have all that. But also my biggest tip is to the visualization thing that I mentioned. Like, listening to some energetic frequency music that's in like a love vibration or something like that, and just sit down in a meditative position and first think about what you want. Think about that reality, you being a pro gamer, you in those stands, gaming the shit out of everyone, fucking everyone up in that game. Imagine it in your mind, or think about it and start imagining it as you think about it. And as you see it, feel it. Feel yourself there. Feel yourself like going so ham on that game. So excited that you're fucking up everyone in the game. And you just feel it in your fucking soul, in your heart, as you're imagining it in your mind. And it's like, it's like visualizing the reality so it can come into being later on. And after you do that and feel it, it's like, that stuff will literally just come to you naturally. Because after that meditation, just let it go. Know that it will come to you in divine timing, and keep restructuring that vision every day, or as much as you can. Keep meditating on that. Keep doing it. It's just, if this is too much, just remember, sit down, meditate, visualize it, and feel it. And the steps are: sit down, music. Keep meditating on that. Keep doing it. It's just, if this is too much, just remember, sit down, meditate, visualize it, and feel it. And the steps are: sit down, music. Think about it, visualize it, feel it, and then put it all together in one. Within a couple minutes of that music going on, just have that vision, you know? And just keep working every day. Work on it every day, and also visualize it every day. Don't just completely think that one visualization will do it. Just fit it there. Like, I feel like the more you visualize it, the more it manifests. Like I said, in quantum physics, we know that reality is in a state of probability until you observe it. So imagine, if you're observing the reality you want, you're literally manifesting it into reality later on through quantum physics. It's like people call it a quantum jump, I think. Holy shit, my ears just rang so loud. Holy shit, they're ringing so loud. That's awesome. Pursue enlightenment. Yeah, you can pursue enlightenment. I mean, when you pursue it, I think it defeats the purpose, because enlightenment happens in the moment, not in the future. You're never going to reach enlightenment at some point in the future. It's always going to be right here, right now. This moment is enlightenment. This moment is the realization that you are everything, because there won't ever be over there. But I feel like, yeah, pursuing an expansion of knowledge and love is a beautiful thing too. Like, just study philosophy. Forgiving yourself is the hardest thing to overcome. Yeah, but it's like, it's the best thing when you do it. Also, like, even forgive anything, any experience, any traumatic experience. Also visualize yourself in that experience and hug your past self. Like, if you're a kid and had a traumatic experience, go back to that experience and go back and literally hug your little child self. Tell them everything is going to be all right. Like, everything through visualization is a form of forgiveness, and feel that love that you're going to give to that person in the past. It's like you're sending that energy to your past self, and it's like you're healing your past self from the future. I think. I'm not sure where this is all coming from. I'm just saying it. You want to be a YouTuber? Be a YouTuber. How do you continue your life before knowing what you know? What do you mean? We all need to find peace, everything, forgive everyone, everything happens for a reason, guys. Yeah, we all really need forgiveness, love, and understanding that nothing is a coincidence. Will you be interested in purchasing self-published books and dreams and my interpretations? Sure. Let me know what it is. I'll look into it. Have I ever read Caballo de Troya? No, I haven't. It's like, isn't that the horse of Troy or whatever? If I think about someone, will that person think about me too? Yeah. That's called sometimes called telephone telepathy. When you call someone or text someone, and it's like the instant that you send that intention to call someone or text someone, they automatically think about you before you do that. It's like you get a call from someone and it's like, damn, I was thinking about you. Like, that's called telephone telepathy, and it's studied pretty well. I have a video on it. It's called my telepathy video. Show me the keys of the enlightened. I can't show you. Anyone that, I remember Alan Watts has a quote, anyone that tries to show you the keys to enlightenment is like picking your pocket and selling you your, it's like, what was it? It's like taking your watch and selling it back to you. Like, you already have that. You don't need anyone else to give it to you. Yeah, telekinesis. Beautiful Spanish, thank you. I'm from Mexico, so that's why. I'm not just it's not like I could. I did study Spanish in high school so I could get an AP, but I'm originally from Mexico. 100% positive energy. Yeah, exactly. 100% positive energy. Doubt is the devil. Yeah, I mean, anything that you give energy to, you give power to. Like, anything that you focus, like, the more you believe in something, the more you give energy towards that. If you believe in that negative energy, like the devil, whatever, you give energy towards that. The more you believe in angels and all that beautiful things that are there to support you, the more energy you give towards them. We're part of Mexico. I'm from Mexico City, on Honduras. Hey, that's fire. I have a friend who's from Honduras. Yeah, but I was born in Mexico City. Then I moved to Miami when I was 10. And then I moved to Pennsylvania, which is around the East Coast. And then I moved to Delaware, which is where I'm at now, which is one of the smallest states in the U.S. So I'm not in Mexico. I'm in the U.S. right now, which is why my English is nice. Well, I've been studying it since I was little. Zimbabwe, that's fire. Dominican, so many different cultures in here. That's so cool. Much love to everyone in here, man. I'm probably going to hop off now so I can finish my YouTube video and finish editing it and post it. It's going to be about aliens, so if you guys are into that, it's going to be just all the disclosures of high government officials talking about it. But I'll definitely make more, spirituality-based YouTube videos because I love that. And I feel like that's when my highest amount of knowledge is. Just the stuff that really resonates with me and just comes naturally. Also the alien stuff, but yeah, much love to everyone in here. I'm glad everyone just tuned in. I may post this somewhere, maybe on my YouTube or maybe on my Patreon. I have a Patreon where I post some of my old lives. I'm gonna start posting more on there. I think there's only one, like an hour long one, but I have like some on my phone and some on my TikTok that I'll post on my Patreon, which is in my bio. And I may just make it public on my YouTube because this was a very good live. And yeah, much love to everyone in here, man. Blessings to everyone. Everyone just keep following your dreams. Keep doing what you do. Keep spreading love, giving love. Just appreciating the life that you have, no matter if you see it as whatever it may be. Peace out, Jay. Peace out, user 686. Peace out, Lazarus. I love what you stand for. Much love. Thank you, Iawi. I'm probably butchering that name. Yao Xiao. I can't say it. Thank you, Riberajo. That's a tough name too. I really enjoyed the live. Yeah. Much love to everyone, man. Everyone is just awesome. Just for being you. You guys are literally all expressions of the universe. Metaphysical, much love. Much love. Yaz from Brazil. Brazil, another one from Brazil. That's tough. Miami. All right. I'm hopping out. Much love, guys. You just please repost. Yeah. I'll see how I can download it right now. All right. Peace out, guys. Much love.